Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And welcome. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Station, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Rumble, Streaker, Spreaker, and more. Why so many places? Well, I want to maximize my splatter zone for more hope and happiness because there's so much bad news out there right now. Headlines guaranteed. Well, if it bleeds, it will lead, and it will end up, you either say what's wrong with people or are in fear about the world going to hell in a handbasket, and we don't want that, and we know that's not true. The wellness and well-being and the reality that is real in our lives, if we choose to focus on it, is that the planets did not crash into each other. And no matter what happens, we do have this opportunity to live, love, laugh, learn, and innovate, create relationships, finances. We can generate so many things in our lives, and that's what I choose to focus on for the past, 692 consecutive weeks, 13 plus years, and 3.98 million impressions as of today. I just checked. Mondays are my days to check to see if y'all are still here, you're still listening, you're still watching, and you're still balancing out the bad news with good news. So welcome. It is Monday, which means it's Mental Health Matters Mondays, my very special series that I get to talk about things that directly affect your health and well-being and your mental health, and encourage you to up that happiness factor. And that's what we do on Mondays. So glad you're here. We're going to start, as per usual, with breakfast. If you haven't had breakfast yet, good. You can have breakfast with me, which constitutes taking a bite out of my gratitude sandwich. And let's see. Top of the bun is things that we're grateful for outside of ourselves. And then bottom of the bun is things that we're grateful for inside of ourselves. And that's how we start every show these past at least 3 or 4 years now. And so that's what we're going to continue doing because it's a good life habit. And so let's start with, what am I grateful for? I am grateful that I am 88% moved into my new place. As you can see, I have a grand piano here. Actually, there's a grand piano downstairs. But I am so grateful that I have a place. I didn't think I could get any better of a view of the ocean than I did at the last place, but I do, because it's always this and better. And I am grateful that I am having a birthday party for myself this coming Sunday. It is Leo season. This particular Leo is a Leo in 5 out of 6 planets. So yes. And I am grateful, although I'm hashtag ageless, y'all know that. So we're not going to count numbers. And I am grateful that I have friends and family, and every day is a chance to make a new friend and drop an old friend. No, I'm just kidding. Have a new friend, and I actually have a date tonight that I'm excited about. So it'll be first date number 24 24. I've had, is 24 or 34 first dates, and 2 second dates, 1 third date, we're going to see if we can't hit a record 5th date for this particular gentleman. Let's see. I can't believe I just said that out loud. And then I'm grateful for this platform for highlighting things. It's National Breastfeeding Month, and I have a special guest today that'll be coming on a little later. Dr. Mona Amin. She, you may remember her from last year with some great information about breastfeeding. So if you're a new mom, then you'll want to tune in after the commercial break. So what am I grateful for on the bottom of the bun? The reason why I do this part of the gratitude sandwich is that a lot of us were told, you're not all that, don't toot your own horn, especially if you're Japanese or Chinese. There's a saying, the nail that stands up is hammered down. And so you don't want to toot your own horn. And, well-meaning parents, sometimes more mean than well. The downside is, if you don't know who you are and how good you are, and you don't tame that critical voice in your head that tells you that you're not all that, then you're going to have a propensity to walk around with antenna on, looking for people who do like you, or trying to manipulate so that you are liked literally on social media, buying likes. We don't want to do that. We want to know what we're good at. A lot of us are perfectionists. I'm a recovering perfectionist. And yeah, I know, if you get 99 compliments and one criticism, what do you think about? Not the 99, but the one. So that's why we do the bottom of the bun, where we purposely highlight what you like about yourself, so that when you go to bed tonight and you're thinking about who done me wrong, or what I didn't get done, and I'm not, they were right, I can't finish anything. That's bullshit hockey. And I want you to replace that with, you know what? I like the fact that I am adventurous, and blood clot or no blood clot for the future, I cannot take away that I have had an amazing life so far. Many chapters. I've gotten to travel so much. I was reminded yesterday, I'm grateful for my agape community and all of my sisters there who reminded me that let's just stay in today. And even though the ER doctor was, pretty like, this is your second time with blood clots and you had a pulmonary embolism, so flying's not a great idea. And so I went to worst case scenario. I'm never going to fly again, because I did have to cancel my world tour this year to Africa and Ireland and Shanghai and Taiwan and Hawaii. But that doesn't mean there isn't miracles that happen. So I'm going to thank you, Lee and Monique and Susie, for holding that truth, and Grace. And of course, my big brother, Michael Bernard Beckwith, who has already seen all past that, and everything's going to be okay. So yes, I appreciate that I can practice what I teach 88% of the time. And also I appreciate my ability to be real, and allowed myself to cry and get support. It's not easy for me to admit that I need help, or that I am not always in a good place, and I have to feel my feelings fully. And I did that yesterday, and I appreciate my ability to be vulnerable. That's, some people go, well, that, duh. But for me, that's, I spent a lifetime saying I'm okay, right? I don't need any help, and I don't need you as a coping device to the way that I was treated when I was a kid. And I have to unlearn that. And so I appreciate my ability to do that. So that's it for the bottom of the bun. Thanks for joining me for breakfast this morning, taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich. I hope you continue this good life habit with or without me every weekday morning, because life's too short to be feeding your piss-offedness. Instead, take a bite of my gratitude sandwich, and that good life habit and hashtag blisscipline will help you not only get a good night's sleep at night, but sandwich your day in the most positive way. Thanks for joining me for breakfast. Yes, it is Monday. All right, and now it is time for... I'm back in California, so I have my bell. Topic of the day, this says everything is awesome, is conspiracy theory. And some of you are going, what? Who's willing to tell the truth? Who is telling the truth? Is it a conspiracy theory? Can you handle the truth? That was a good movie. That's the topic today. Why are we talking about conspiracy theory? I thought it was Mental Health Matters Mondays. I accidentally, hashtag accidentally, not accidentally, by the way, when I was writing out the title, I put Mental Health Madness by accident. So I left it on there, Matters Monday, on conspiracy. And honestly, folks, if you had told me 10 years ago that like people that I thought were, smart, bright, logic, rational thought would actually be publicly and believingly speaking about conspiracy theories, that the Holocaust never happened, that we didn't really go to the moon, that Stevie Wonder's really not blind. I would have bet you money and lost, because I cannot believe the extent that we have as a human race, especially as Americans, especially with all the access to knowledge and like the fact that journalists, real news, fake news, all of that crazy making would be normalized madness, I think is what Michael called it yesterday when he spoke. That is unbelievable to me. It is still sort of like, what? Have you heard the latest conspiracy theory? I don't want to know, because it just makes me shake my head and go, what is going on? But the reason why we're talking about it is because whether we believe it or not, it's happening. And whether we believe it or not, we're feeling the effects of some human dynamics that unless you took psychology or took a class from me, I have a PhD in organizational psychology, and that studies human dynamics in organizations or at work or at home, anything that happens to us that is illogical and irrational. And certainly conspiracy theory is such, and it is contributing to our mental health or lack of mental health, because one, it is creating divisiveness and conflict and ghosting and dropping people and family disputes and friendship disputes and work disputes. So this whole area, I thought I would, put the moose on the table, which is my Canadian version of talking about the elephant in the room. this particular topic as an organizational psychologist, and share with you some of the things that I learned in my studies about human dynamics at work, and maybe that'll help you understand or at least appreciate your own biases and your own thoughts, feelings, and actions that may or may not be contributing to good mental health or useful mental health or not. So that's the topic of the day. All right. So, first half of the show, I talk about what is the reality around this. And for those of you who are on my social, I played a little clip. I wonder if we can get that up. I didn't prepare this particularly, but I did a show. Oh, it's not logged in, but go to Doc Balance or Dr. Marissa everywhere else and just I did an expert commentary on this show called Hunting the Lost Symbol. And it was a show looking at the symbols in hunting the let's see if I can pull that up. Hunting the Lost Symbol. I have great memory, but my recall sucks. So it's a documentary, and Dan Brown's book. It took a look at all the things that were in there, what was real and what was not. And I got to talk about conspiracy theory and how some people are more prone to believing conspiracy and how that even happens. And at that point, when I spoke about it, it was not a norm. It's not like today where you have gosh, I forgot it's not MAGA, it's the other one. Boy, this is how much I don't like to follow it or talk about it. Is I saw QAnon, that's it. But it's truly, truly, truly fascinating. Our minds are, what we can do, and how we get to the point of believing something that's not true is more common and more susceptible than we think. All right. So what are some of the things that contribute towards the not great mental health of individuals right now? So let's do the reality check. I could grow up with with not a very strong muscle for answering the question, what do I think? What do I know? What do I believe? Who am I? What do I want? And certainly 7 out of 10 of us who've had childhood trauma, that whole question line is pretty much not prevalent, because we are taught to do as I say. I'll give you something to cry about, or if you loved me, you would. And so we are used to, and we have a habit of looking to others for the truth. To find the truth ourselves is not a natural habit. It's been covered up by this unnatural habit, lots of times born out of trauma, to look to others for the answer. Our whole education system, by the way, is, what's the right answer? And your teachers provide you with the right answer. And if you disagree with the teacher, you're punished. Okay. So, and then if your parents are believing a certain thing, and you go to a church that believes a certain thing, and you go to a school that believes a certain thing, your truth is what you hear and what you see around you, what is modeled for you around you, and that is your truth. And if you dare disagree or buck the system, you are labeled as the black sheep or you're labeled as, in my case, we'll pray for you, that you find your way back. You're ostracized. You're put out there as someone who, has lost their way. All right. So that was the reality, or the before, or what it was to think something different, right, than what is the common thought. And if you are not strong enough in your own individual power of choice, you can think differently, you can examine things objectively, you can trust your gut, that you can take things under advisement, you can go fact check things, then you will be led by the nose, or that Michael called media the weapon of mass distraction. You will believe what is put in front of you. And if that is a conspiracy theory, you will buy it hook, line, and sinker, because you don't have the habit or the muscle to question what is being put in front of you. And I'm going to give you the best example possible. When someone messages you with something, do you immediately turn around, you read it and go, oh, and then I have to let people know, because this is horrible. And I have to warn them and turn around and message everybody that you know and love with this particular, whatever it is, right? People are robbing people at gas stations, or, don't listen to this person, or don't click on this, or don't do this and don't do that. And, there's people trying to, aliens here, whatever it is, and you immediately share it, post it, forward it without checking it, you are more prone to conspiracy theory, because you have not exercised your muscle to at least fact check it, at least look at where this news is coming from. Now, some of you will say, yeah, but Dr. Marissa, there's no such thing as unbiased news, and there's no, it's got to be true because such and such said it, right? So I'm so delighted to tell you that I actually am going to get to interview the man behind this chart that I've been using for probably like 7 or 8 years. Whenever the QAnon idea came up in mainstream, I said, okay, I got to do something about straightening the belief, the BS, the belief system that whatever you hear is true. So, there's no news that is 100% not biased. Let's just put that news on the table. However, there are definite leanings. So unbiased media is an oxymoron. That's something I used to say I should bring it back. So know that if you are hearing something or getting a post from, or whatever it is, from any of these stations, it's going to be far left. All right. They are going to promote what they believe, as they should, because that's what they do. That's their job. And if you go to the right, far right, you're going to get things based on fear of people doing bad things to you. On the other side, if I go far left, it'll be all the bad things that are happening, people who need help. Okay, so that's far left. I know I'm super generalizing it, but I'm trying to make the point of, please know when you're getting things forwarded to you, or you're seeing a post in social, or you're watching news. If you're not watching the middle here, it's going to be biased. They're going to put in front of you things that promote what that producer, who is paid to represent either the far left or the far right, and not the center. So I get my news here. If I actually want to start my day with the news, this is where I go. All right. So this is probably not updated, but I wanted to bring it up to you because it is so amazing that I get to actually interview the guy behind that. So if you do not have that muscle that checks, okay, you're more prone to conspiracy theory. That's one. If you, so actually, number one was if you don't have a strong sense of self and understand what you know, believe, think, and know what your BS is, your belief systems are, you're more likely to be a conspiracy theorist. Second, if you don't fact check and look at where the news is coming from, you'll also be more susceptible to conspiracy theory. The third is who do you hang around with? And we just did this show, I think it was on Doctors in the House with Dr. Tiffany, about the 5 people you hang around, right? The Jim Rohn saying. And I bring this up because it's very interesting. I loved my field when I was learning it, and then I got to teach it at Boston University and UCLA in the MBA school, which is phenomena like groupthink and Pygmalion effect. Some of you may be familiar, but if you've never taken psychology, you may not. And let me take a quick, I'm going to be one with my coffee. So, groupthink is when the power of and the momentum of a group that is believing a certain way, and the stronger the belief, the less likely you're going to hear or allow or be aware of any data that is contrary or disagrees or goes against what you believe. Now, Bay of Pigs is a great example of that. Even Pearl Harbor is a great example of that. I'm sure if you have a very strong group of friends who present a certain idea that you don't know why you believe it, but you believe it, and you only see things that reinforce that belief, you are in groupthink. All right. It happens all the time, whether you believe it or not. It's just one of those phenomena that happens with human beings. When, that expression, he's like a dog with a bone. Like when you have that idea and you can't let that idea go, and that is it, and nothing is put in front can distract you from that. That is an individual propensity towards Pygmalion effect. Pygmalion effect is the opposite of I'll see it when I believe it. I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it, which is the common saying, right? I need proof. Show me, can you handle the truth? What is the truth? And then I'll believe it. Show me evidence of what you're saying, and then I'll believe it, right? I'll believe it when I see it. If I don't see it, I don't believe it. Pygmalion effect is kind of like the cousin and individual level of groupthink is I will see it as I believe it. And it's so powerful. The best study I know of this is when people get cut off on the freeway. All right. And some of you may accuse me of stereotyping. This was an actual study. So, but it illustrates what I'm talking about in Pygmalion effect. And what you believe affects what you see. So if you get cut off on the freeway at the exact same time, and you hold a belief system, let's say of Asians driving, since I'm an Asian, but I'm a good driver. Now, if a African American gentleman and an Asian American a woman cut you off at the same time, because whatever belief system you hold, and you know which one most people hold about drivers, you see what you believe and you miss what you don't. So you will literally get cut off at exactly the same time, but you will only see that what you believe. And you know which one it is. I'm not going to say it out loud. Actually, I had someone say to me in all seriousness that the reason why Asians can't drive, and I still can't believe someone actually said this to me, but it's a great example of Pygmalion effect. She said, oh, the reason that's true is because you have smaller eyes, and so you can't see out of the corner of your eyes. I'm still stunned by that, but she's a great example of Pygmalion effect. She believes, she sees it and believes it, and there's no like moving her from that. So Pygmalion effect is certainly creating a lot of divisiveness in our country now, because it removes our ability to agree to disagree, because now if whatever you're believing, you're wrong, right? If it's not what I see, and I see in plain sight what it is, it's wrong. So there you go. That is one of the two, groupthink and Pygmalion effect, psychological phenomena, and it happens whether you believe it or not. It's also tied to the law of attraction. What you see grows bigger. So this phenomena is making our ability to have good relationships with people, especially that we love, if we are, one is thinking this way and one is thinking that way, and they don't see any data to support the other because they can't, then we're going to have conflict that you see now. So the ability to be able to, I had the Bridging the Gap people here, the ability to see the other side, to see that it is not a conspiracy, that to see that everyone believes or acts and thinks in a way that is consistent with their strong BS belief system. If we can own that, then we can begin the dialogue to move towards that central. You can still hold your strong belief, but you can understand that the other person isn't stupid or a conspiracy theorist, because they're just acting out the natural psychological phenomena of Pygmalion effect. I will see it when I believe it, right? I see as I believe instead of I believe when I see, okay? And groupthink is when you don't allow data that might balance out what you're thinking, because you just literally don't see it. Right? You can only see data that supports what you believe. Does that make sense? All right. Those are two important. You just had a psychology lesson in mental health matters about the madness. I hope you learned a little bit from that. We're going to take a quick break now and hear from the sponsor of the show, which is celebrating National Breastfeeding Week. And I'm so happy that I got to interview Dr. Mona Amin. She's a first-generation Indian American, born and raised in Southern California. She attended UCLA for her undergraduate training, majoring in psychobiology, the biology of psychological conditions. She went on to attend medical school at ATSU Soma in Arizona. She obtained her Doctor of Osteopathic medicine. After med school, she completed pediatric residency training at Bernard and Millie Duke Children's Hospital in Albany, New York. She's been practicing pediatrician since 2015, caring for patients from newborns to 21-year-olds. And she's built she's passionate about sharing relatable and practical advice to make the motherhood journey more joyful. She guides parents in raising children in a healthy relationship with food, positive body image, strong coping skills, and value for sleep, all key elements that can help prevent major health issues later in life. She's built an inclusive and caring community, over 500,000 supporters and followers across her various platforms. And that's who is coming up now as we take a break for news, weather, and traffic to celebrate National Breastfeeding Awareness Month. So enjoy. We'll be right back. Don't go away in 2 and 2.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And we're back. And August is National Breastfeeding Awareness Month, a time to recognize and support the unique journeys of mothers who choose to breastfeed. Joining us again is Dr. Mona Amin, pediatrician, lactation consultant, and founder of the popular parenting platform Peds Doc Talk. Dr. Mona is teaming up with Munchkin and the Emmys group to share a new study that sheds light on what breastfeeding moms are experiencing today and how we can all do more to help. Please welcome to the studio, Dr. Mona Amin. How are you?
Hello. Thank you for having me, Dr. Marissa. I'm good. How are you?
I am happy and grateful. Thank you very much. And it is August. It's my birthday month. So I'm always happy to have August. It's National Breastfeeding Awareness Month. Tell us more about some innovations that are helping new moms.
Well, happy birthday. Yes, it is also Breastfeeding Awareness Month, and this month is all about prioritizing breastfeeding and supporting those who want to breastfeed, like you mentioned. And every family's feeding journey can look different. Even within breastfeeding, no two paths are exactly the same, as many of us know. And the right tools and support can make all the difference. Munchkin's Flow Nipple Shield Plus is a great example of an innovative tool. It's made from 100% food-grade silicone and comes in a portable sterilizer case. When used with guidance from a lactation consultant, it can help support latch, milk transfer, and actually reduce that postpartum stress, especially in those early tough weeks of breastfeeding.
Wow. What are the biggest reasons why moms stop breastfeeding?
Well, so many moms face emotional, physical, and logistical hurdles that can impact their breastfeeding journey, making it incredibly challenging. One of the most common things that I see is the maternal perception of low milk supply, or that their baby isn't getting anything at the breast, so that milk transfer. So that can lead to self-doubt and anxiety, leading moms to wean earlier than intended. And then you add other key barriers like difficulty with latching, nipple pain or damage, lack of support, and it can be a real confidence deterrent. Flow Nipple Shield Plus is built to help eliminate some of these concerns and that self-doubt so that moms can have an incredible experience with their breastfeeding of their newborn.
Fantastic. I did 2 beautiful girls breastfed, and I have to do a little commercial plug. It is one of the most beautiful experiences that you'll have in life. So good on this. What are some other innovations that are helping new moms?
So Flow is a great example, as it's the world's first patented nipple shield with a built-in channel that allows the nursing mom to see milk flow in real time when their baby is latched onto the nipple shield. So if you're dealing with signs or dealing with concerns on learning milk transfer, you can learn that and also have this to help give you more confidence in that journey. So whether you're dealing with milk production issues, milk transfer issues, nipple pain, inverted nipples, or nipple trauma, having something like the Munchkin Flow Nipple Shield Plus as a tool in your tool belt can really help support breastfeeding journeys.
Fantastic. Now, what are some of the highlights of the new study that I mentioned earlier?
So the findings were eye-opening to me, both as a pediatrician, IBCLC, and someone who did breastfeed my kid. We heard from hundreds of women about how personal and at times challenging breastfeeding can be, and I don't think that's a surprise to anyone. Over 300 moms participated, and 87% continued breastfeeding at 12 months, which is more than twice the national average of 39.5%, according to the CDC. And even more impressive, 98% met or exceeded their breastfeeding goals. Moms are feeling more supported, more confident, and less stressed, thanks in part to access to helpful tools like the Munchkin Flow Nipple Shield Plus.
Fantastic. So what's being done to support breastfeeding equity and access?
To me, this is so important because if we're going to be honoring breastfeeding and providing support, we need to do it across all socioeconomic statuses. And I love that Munchkin is committed to equity in access. To date, they've donated nearly $100,000 worth of Flow Nipple Shield Plus units to WIC chapters across the country, helping underserved families. And also for the month of August, they're offering a free Flow replacement kit with every Flow purchase, making the support tool even more accessible to more families.
That's fantastic. It's especially now, you know, the whole balancing equity and certainly supporting colorful women, especially when they want to breastfeed. So where can viewers go to learn more about access or resources to this Munchkin?
Yeah, so remember, in honor of National Breastfeeding Awareness Month, you are not alone in this journey. It's so important to ask for help and get the support when you need it. I always recommend visiting munchkin.com to learn more about their tools like the Flow Nipple Shield Plus and other helpful breastfeeding resources there as well.
Yeah, it's a great website. I just popped it up and didn't know it existed. I kind of wish I had it when my girls were breastfeeding, but hey, it's good now. So you heard it here on Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, a really important tool, kit, and support and information. So glad that you're doing this, Dr. Mona. And one more time, where do they go for access for more resources on breastfeeding?
Well, thank you for having us on to talk about this important, incredible resource. And again, munchkin.com is the best place to go.
Fantastic. Thanks for coming on this year, and go and have the best year ever. I'll see you next August.
Thank you, and happy birthday month.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm working on making it a birthday year now, but
I like that.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And welcome back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station, AM 1050, FM 106.5. Home to the Asian Oprah, number one talk in the IE. Thank you very much. And streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, and of course my YouTube TV channel, where if you free subscribe, hit that button, give me the finger, this one, not the other one, you will have access to 1,445 podcast shows over the past 692 consecutive weeks. And I just checked the impression numbers. I do it on Mondays, 3.98 million. And I'm truly grateful that good news does travel, and it is on my platform. They said I wouldn't last more than a year, and 13 plus years later, I'm still here, and I'm so glad you're here. I see eyeballs rolling in. Welcome to the show. We just had an interview with Dr. Mona Amin, who launched us into August National Breastfeeding Awareness month with a great product. And she's the sponsor of the show this morning. So we've been talking about mental health madness. Normally it's Mental Health Matters Mondays, but the topic is conspiracy theory. And so I accidentally, hashtag not accidentally, I was typing mental health matters and it went madness because of that. So we, before the break, we talked about the reality of conspiracy theories now. Really, one of the biggest reasons why we're in so much conflict is the BS. The belief systems are so diametrically opposed, are so going against what we used to think as common sense. Common sense is uncommon. Rational thought is irrational, and it is supporting divisiveness. It's leading to a lot more conflict than we used to have. We used to be able to agree to disagree. We used to be able to walk in other people's moccasins and shoes to sort of understand where they're coming from. We used to fact check. We used to have real journalists who didn't just base their stories on the producer or the company line, so to speak. And that's led to a country now that is very divided and relationships that are contributing to not good mental health and certainly unhappiness, not happiness. So that's why we're talking about it. And just to recap, those of you who are not familiar with psychology and especially organizational psychology, that is my field. And the things that we introduced before the break are one, groupthink, which I think a lot of you know about. That's the inability for groups that believe a certain way to allow any data that doesn't support it. And then Pygmalion effect, which changes I'll believe it when I see it to I will see it as I believe it. So if you missed the data on that or the detail on that, go rewind. You can access this show on so many platforms. But I wanted to, before I forget, I always do this on Mondays is the one day where I do an Asian Oprah giveaway of this. I forget with this thing here that it's hard to see it, but I guess I go over here. This is my number one best-selling national bestseller book. You get a free audiobook copy for the Asian Oprah giveaway on Mondays. So you go to my website, which is here on the screen, and just scroll down or on the pop-up. And I am going to send out an email this week because it's my birthday coming up. I'm definitely not an email spammer. I have people all the time asking, did I fall off your list? And I don't think I've done an email since early this year. So it's time, and I'll do another Asian Oprah giveaway. But for today, all the people who are on Mental Health Madness Matters Monday today will get a free audiobook copy of that. Just go to my website, put in the email, and I'll send you a promo code so that you can get that freebie today. All right. Back to conspiracy. How do we continue having or restore our relationships that have been hurt or destroyed by conspiracy theory? So this is, I don't even know if it's possible, to be perfectly honest, because our BS, our belief systems are so strong sometimes that it is almost impossible to change them. And there's a lot of idioms that support this. You can't teach an old dog a new trick. You basically, as a psychologist, I used to joke, I've discovered that Really, the bottom line is you cannot change people. Okay. And that is not true. So the first BS that I um, would 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 recommend in calling the BS is that people, including yourself, cannot change. I am what I am. I believe what I believe. I don't change my mind. It's a sign of weakness. I am my BS. I am my belief system. If I don't have a strong belief system, then I'm a wimp, or I'm a wishy-washy, and I'll fail the strong opinion test, and everybody has a right to my opinion, and therefore this is the way it is. And the benefits of that is you might have a reputation of being strong-minded and getting things done, and that's a good thing in our culture. Like, just you are your belief system, and leaders are made out of people who are not very changeable, and that is BS. So if you know you're one of those, if you think everybody has right to your opinion, if you're the one who wants to share the first news about anything and shock people, and be the one in the know, and this is the way it is, and if you don't think this way, you're stupid, and the thing that's wrong with our country is blank blank blank, and yeah. So we have a lot of those on the screen these days. So if you are either one of them or influenced by one of them, I would have you take a breath in through the nose and release. And ask yourself, is it really true for me? I'm not going to say, is it true? That blanket, it's either true or false, it black or white, good or bad. What category does it go in? That's Newtonian thinking. And Newtonian thinking leads to war. It leads to strife. It leads to unhappiness. So is there a balance? Is there a way to believe something and not throw us into the bushes, not throw us into the hole of unhappiness? Yes. Is it possible that your truth can be true, and at the same time, someone else's truth can be true? This is a tool that I use. Let's see if I can pull up. Let's see something from. Let's see if I pulled anything in here recently that we can use to show this. Let's see. Hope and happiness. I wonder if it's in my leadership. Maybe I can pull this up really quickly. There's I didn't think of doing that until now, but there's a picture that I use. Maybe I'll do it on my social today. That is, there's an old woman and a young woman. Those of you who've seen, I know I can do this. I know how I can do this. It's probably online. Old woman, young woman. And it's a graphic that I use when I teach to show you. There we go. Perfect. I'm so grateful that I have the ability to do this. And I'm going to share this. So this particular graphic, those of you who took psychology will remember this. I'm going to put this on full screen just so you can see it. So focus on this right here. What do you see, an old woman or a young woman? And the joke is a lot of people see the old woman, and I'll say to the executive that, that's what you want to see. But seriously, if you look, you can actually see there's two women here. One is a young woman, and she has her eyelash here. She has her nose here, and the mouth is at the bottom. The mouth is, you can't see the mouth. This is a choker on her neck. That is a young woman. She's got a little feather up here. And those of you who are listening on the radio will have to watch this later on my YouTube TV channel. But there's a young woman that you see. But at the same time, there's an old woman. And this is her eye in the middle instead of over here. And she's got a big nose. And then the choker becomes a mouth. And if you are able to see both, you already have the ability to see more than one reality. And that is the skill, folks, to get to a place where we can begin to help our own mental health by having relationships with people who don't agree with us. This is how we do it. We acknowledge that some BS belief system that they are so strongly, even if you think it's a conspiracy theory, that they have been practicing that BS, and therefore to say you're stupid and wrong because you believe that is not helping. But to say, I can understand how you got there, because I heard on Dr. Marissa's show this morning that there are human dynamics at work that further the divide if we're not aware of them. And you don't accuse them, oh, you're in Pygmalion effect, or, oh, you're in groupthink. That's not the point of this, folks. It's not to judge and label, but it's to understand that people come to the conclusions and the BS and the belief systems and even the conspiracies because we're human. And we have these funky tendencies to believe as we believe. And if we can acknowledge that, then we're less likely to judge people who think differently than us as stupid or wrong or crazy, even though we think it. But it is possible. Therefore, it is possible that we also are, and that we can also change our minds. That's my final word. Hopefully, you've enjoyed this interesting take on conspiracy theory. It is related to mental health matters because I totally want us to be happy 88% of the time. And we cannot do so if we're constantly arguing or ghosting or angry at what we hear and see on the news. That's it. Thanks for joining me on Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. And you know the drill. It's all about balance. Peace in, peace out. World peace through inner peace. Now go and have the best day ever. We'll see you tomorrow.